age is just a number, but can love really defy age? Welcome to today's countdown of top 21 celebrity couples with the biggest age gaps. Some are 6 decades old. We know that age might just be a number, but in today's video, we're diving into some pretty big ones when it comes to the gap between these celebrity couples. These couples, whether they are still together or have since parted ways, have one thing in common. They defied the odds and found love, despite the age difference. From Hollywood's most famous couples to some unexpected matches, their love stories are sure to surprise you. So, what do you think? Do you believe age really matters when it comes to love? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible celebrity stories. We've got some shocking love stories ahead. 21. George Clooney and Amal Clooney. George Clooney once swore he would never get married again until he met Amal, a brilliant human rights lawyer 17 years younger than him. It all started in 2013 when George Clooney and Amal Clooney first crossed paths. From the moment they met, George was drawn to Amal's intelligence and strength. Unlike the women he had dated before, Amal wasn't impressed by his Hollywood fame, which made George find her even more special. At first, Amal wasn't looking for love, but George wasn't giving up. He pursued her with meaningful conversations and an undeniable sincerity, something Amal Clooney couldn't resist. Just a few months later, George nervously proposed, asking, "Will you say yes?" They tied the knot in September 2014 in a fairy tale ceremony in Venice, Italy, but their love story doesn't stop there. After getting married, they found the perfect balance between career and family. Amal continued her fight for human rights, while George proudly took the role of her supportive backbone. In 2017, they welcomed twins Ella and Alexander. Despite being one of the most famous couples in Hollywood, they've kept their kids out of the spotlight, never sharing public photos on social media. More than a decade later, George still calls Amal the best gift of his life, and Amal calls him a rare gentleman. Their love isn't just about romance, it's about deep respect and companionship through every stage of life. 20. Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger. When it comes to celebrity couples, age gap relationships don't always follow the script, and Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger are living proof. With a 10-year age difference, their connection was undeniable from the moment they met at church in 2018. Chris couldn't help but sneak glances at Katherine during the service, drawn to her kindness and strong values. Unlike the other women he had dated, Katherine wasn't starstruck by his fame, which made her stand out even more. At first, Katherine wasn't looking for love, but Chris wasn't giving up that easily. He won her heart with meaningful conversations and a sincerity that was hard to ignore. Just 6 months into their relationship, Chris proposed with a heartfelt message. "I'm so happy you said yes. I can't wait to spend my life with you." In June 2019, they tied the knot in a small, intimate wedding in California, surrounded by family and close friends. Katherine admires Chris's humor and warm heart, while Chris cherishes Katherine's grace and elegance. Since their wedding, they've built a family of their own. They welcomed their first daughter, Lila, in 2020, followed by Eloise in 2022 and Ford in 2024. Despite being a famous couple, they've kept their family life private, shielding their children from the media spotlight so they can enjoy a peaceful childhood. Years later, Chris still refers to Katherine as the greatest gift God has ever given me, while Katherine calls Chris the best partner I could ever ask for. Their story proves that true love can overcome age differences when it's built on faith, family, and mutual respect. 19. Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are the ultimate proof that love isn't measured by years, but by connection. Despite their 12-year age gap, this iconic couple found each other and built a love that has lasted through decades of fame and success. Their story began in 2000, when they first met on a flight to Mexico. From the moment they locked eyes, Jay-Z was captivated by Beyoncé's confidence and undeniable allure. Later, in their joint album Everything Is Love, Jay-Z admitted that from that first encounter, he knew she was someone special. Their relationship didn't rush. For years, they collaborated musically, from Crazy in Love to Deja Vu, gradually realizing that their chemistry wasn't just magical on stage, it was even stronger off stage. By 2008, when Jay-Z was 38 and Beyoncé was 26, they secretly tied the knot, solidifying their bond as two of the biggest stars in the world. In 2011, Beyoncé shocked the world when she revealed she was pregnant by rubbing her belly during her performance at the MTV Video Music Awards, and Jay-Z's joy was evident as he cheered her on from the crowd. The couple's love story only grew stronger, and in 2017, they welcomed twins, Rumi and Sir, completing their perfect family. Despite facing numerous challenges and rumors, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have remained partners, both in life and in business. After over 2 decades together, Beyoncé has said, "He is my home." David Schwimmer and Zoe Buckman. In the world of celebrity couples, sometimes age is just a number, and David Schwimmer and Zoe Buckman prove that love can transcend any age gap. With a 19-year difference, their relationship started in 2007 when David, the beloved Ross Geller from Friends, walked into a cafe in London and met Zoe, a talented photographer. From the moment they met, there was an undeniable connection. David was captivated by Zoe's artistic passion, and Zoe was drawn to David's deep sense of humor and thoughtfulness. Despite the age gap, they quickly realized they had something special, something that wasn't limited by numbers. For years, they kept their relationship private, but in June 2010, they secretly tied the knot away from the public eye. A year later, in 2011, they excitedly shared the news of Zoe's pregnancy and welcomed their daughter, Cleo. David had always dreamed of being a father, and he embraced the role fully, putting his career on pause to savor the precious moments of fatherhood. However, in 2017, David and Zoe decided to go their separate ways. But their love for their daughter never wavered, and they remained close, co-parenting Cleo with mutual respect and affection. David has said that his relationship with Zoe helped him grow as a person, and even though they are no longer married, they continue to be a family in every sense of the word. 17. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are undoubtedly one of Hollywood's most beloved celebrity couples, not just because of their stunning looks, but also because of their undeniable chemistry, humor, and strong relationship. However, their love story didn't start in the usual way. It began with a twist. They first met while filming Green Lantern in 2010, but at the time, Ryan was still married to Scarlett Johansson, and Blake was dating Penn Badgley. They only became friends at that point, but fate had other plans. In what can only be described as a strange twist of destiny, Ryan and Blake ended up on a double date with other people. After the date, they realized they couldn't take their eyes off each other. Once both were single, Ryan decided to take a chance and asked Blake out. Just a week later, they were already considering buying a house together. In 2012, they had a private wedding in South Carolina, keeping their ceremony out of the public eye. Since then, they've become the epitome of the perfect couple, with their playful banter and loving jabs on social media. Ryan once posted a birthday picture of Blake, but intentionally cut her face out, while Blake trolled Ryan by posting a red carpet photo without him in it. But behind all the jokes is a deep and genuine love. They have 4 children together, and family comes first for them. Ryan once shared, "We never spend too much time apart. I don't work when she works, and vice versa." When asked about their marriage secrets, Ryan simply said, "We don't just love each other. More importantly, we like each other." Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner are one of Hollywood's most enduring celebrity couples, despite their 19-year age gap. Their love story began back in 1996 when they first crossed paths on a golf course while Kevin was filming Tin Cup. At the time, they only exchanged a brief interaction, but it wasn't until 1998, when they unexpectedly ran into each other at a restaurant, that everything changed. At 24, Christine was a fashion designer with a passion for handbags, while Kevin, at 43, was a Hollywood icon who had already been through a marriage. Despite the age difference, they quickly found common ground, bonding over shared values about family and life. However, their relationship wasn't without challenges. After 6 years of dating, Christine asked the hard question, "I want children. What about you?" Kevin hesitated about becoming a father again, but he realized that he couldn't let fear of the unknown stand in the way of his love for Christine. In 2004, they tied the knot in a fairy tale wedding at Kevin's 160-acre estate in Aspen. Christine arrived at the ceremony in a classic truck, while Kevin rode in on a horse-drawn carriage, straight out of a Hollywood romance. 3 years later, they welcomed their first child, Caden Wyatt, followed by Hayes Logan in 2009 and Grace Avery in 2010. Though they parted ways after 18 years of marriage, Kevin and Christine have remained united by their love for their children. Kevin once said, "Christine gave me a wonderful family, and that's something I will always cherish." (15) Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were once the world's most adored celebrity couple, captivating everyone with their passionate and deep love story. They first met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2003, and from the very first moment, both felt a unique connection. Brad was drawn to Angelina's strength and fierce personality, while she admired his warm heart and deep commitment to family. Despite their 12-year age gap, they never saw it as a problem. In fact, Brad once shared that Angelina's life experience taught him so much about the world, while Angelina felt she could always rely on Brad as a solid partner in every way. Their shared passion for family and humanitarian work only strengthened their bond. Angelina said, "When I see Brad with our children, I know he's the man I'm meant to be with." Together, they created a large family with 6 children, dedicating themselves to building a meaningful life together. They traveled the world, engaging in everything from humanitarian missions to simple family outings. Brad once said, "Angelina is the most amazing woman I've ever met, and every day with her is a day I'm grateful for." After over a decade together, they built a beautiful life filled with sweet moments, only to part ways in 2016. Although no longer a couple, Brad and Angelina have continued to co-parent their children, always maintaining mutual respect as two people who once shared an extraordinary love. (14) Matthew McConaughey and Camila Alves. Matthew McConaughey and Camila Alves are a shining example of how celebrity couples can make love last. In Hollywood, where relationships often burn bright but fade fast, Matthew and Camila's love has stood the test of time for over 15 years. It all started with one glance, one moment. Matthew was at a party when he saw Camila Alves, and he instantly knew she was the woman he was meant to spend his life with. At the time, Camila was 24 years old, and unlike other women Matthew had met, she wasn't impressed by his fame. She later admitted that her first impression of Matthew was a rugged, bearded guy. But as they started talking, she realized he was genuine, thoughtful, and deep. Their relationship developed naturally, without rushing into anything. Matthew patiently waited as their love blossomed. After several years together, the couple welcomed 2 children, further strengthening their bond. Though Camila never pressured Matthew about marriage, it was Matthew who eventually felt ready to make the commitment. On Christmas night of 2011, he proposed to Camila, and in 2012, they got married in an intimate ceremony in Texas. After more than 15 years together, their love remains fresh and strong, built on simple but meaningful moments. Matthew once turned down multi-million-dollar contracts just to spend more time with his family, and Camila has always been by his side, ready for new adventures. As Camila puts it, marriage isn't the magic that keeps love alive, it's a choice we make every day. And for Matthew, that choice has always been her. (13) Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra are one of Hollywood's most surprising celebrity couples, with a 10-year age gap that only adds to their unique love story. Nick, born in 1992, took the first step by texting Priyanka Chopra, born in 1982, even before they met in person. But it wasn't until the Met Gala in 2017, when both graced the red carpet together, that the rumors of their romance began to swirl. At first, they kept things casual and were just friends. However, by 2018, Nick was ready to take the next step. He proposed to Priyanka on her birthday in Crete, Greece, just 2 months after they started dating. Their relationship progressed quickly, leaving many in shock. Just a month after the engagement, Nick introduced Priyanka to his family in the US, and soon after, they traveled to India to meet Priyanka's family. In December 2018, they held 2 lavish weddings, one in a Western style and another in a traditional Indian ceremony. Despite their age gap and cultural differences, Nick and Priyanka have always felt perfectly in sync. Nick calls Priyanka the woman he couldn't take his eyes off of, while Priyanka describes Nick as the most wonderful husband. In 2022, they welcomed their first daughter, Malti Marie, via surrogate. Although their journey wasn't without skepticism, they proved their love is genuine. As Priyanka once said, "You have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince, and perhaps Nick is the prince she's been waiting for." 12. Paul McCartney and Nancy Shevell. A music legend and a quiet businesswoman, this couple may have seemed an unlikely match, but their relationship has captured the public's attention for over a decade. What made Paul McCartney choose Nancy Shevell as his partner after his past emotional turmoil? Paul, 17 years older than Nancy, found no barriers in their age difference. They first met in the summer of 2007 in Hamptons, where they both had homes. After a high-profile divorce from Heather Mills, Paul found solace in Nancy, a strong, private woman who had also triumphed over breast cancer. Their relationship was quiet yet deep, far from the spotlight and without rushing. In 2011, Paul proposed to Nancy with a custom-made 5-carat diamond ring, and their wedding in London was intimate, attended only by close family and friends. In a special gesture, Paul's daughter, Stella McCartney, designed Nancy's wedding dress, symbolizing the family's approval of their union. More than a decade later, Paul and Nancy continue to exemplify a strong, lasting marriage. Paul has shared that he still enjoys surprising Nancy, often hiding cards around the house on Valentine's Day just to see her smile. Recently, they even adopted a dog, continuing to write their story of happiness together. As Paul says, "As long as I'm loved and by Nancy's side, that's all I need." And now, let's turn to another headline-making couple with a 53-year age gap. None other than Al Pacino and Noor Al-Fallah, a duo making waves just like his iconic role in The Godfather. 11th. Al Pacino and Noor Al-Fallah. A child at age 83? At first, Al Pacino couldn't believe it either, but DNA proved otherwise. Al Pacino, a legend on screen, has a love life as dramatic as any of his movies. When he started dating Noor Al-Fallah in 2022, many were shocked, not only because of their 53-year age gap, but also due to Noor's history of dating older, wealthy men. Their relationship remained private until they were spotted having dinner together in Venice, California. Not long after, in June 2023, Noor gave birth to Roman Pacino, Al's 4th child. Initially, the 83-year-old actor didn't believe he was the father and requested a DNA test. The results confirmed it. Although they shared a child, their love didn't last. Just 3 months after Roman was born, Noor filed for full custody, and Al confirmed that they were no longer a couple, but remained friends and co-parents. Al also reaffirmed his long-standing views on marriage, stating, "It's a gateway to suffering," which explains why, despite many famous relationships, he has never married. 10. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes were one of the most talked-about celebrity couples in Hollywood, and for good reason. With a 17-year age gap, their whirlwind romance seemed straight out of a Hollywood fairy tale. But was it love, or just a dream that quickly turned into a media frenzy? Katie, still a teenager, once declared she would marry Tom Cruise, and somehow, fate made it happen. They first met in 2005, just after Katie ended her engagement to Chris Klein, and almost immediately, Tom dived into the relationship with all his heart. Who could forget the unforgettable moment when Tom jumped on the couch during an interview with Oprah Winfrey, professing his love for Katie? It became an iconic scene, but it also raised questions about the rush in their relationship. Just 6 weeks after they started dating, Tom proposed to Katie at the top of the Eiffel Tower with a stunning 5-carat diamond ring. A year later, they tied the knot in a lavish wedding at a castle in Italy, with some of Hollywood's biggest stars in attendance. Before the wedding, they welcomed their daughter Suri Cruise, who quickly became one of the most photographed children in the world, constantly attracting the media's attention. Despite their split in 2012, Katie has always spoken highly of Tom as a devoted father and an important part of her life. They truly loved each other, and that's something no one can deny. 9. Liam Neeson and Natasha Richardson. A love story that's both beautiful and tragic. Liam Neeson and Natasha Richardson captured the hearts of Hollywood with their powerful bond. But then, a tragic skiing accident took it all away. How did Liam cope with such an unimaginable loss? And what were Natasha's final words to him? With an 11-year age gap, Liam and Natasha met in 1993 while starring together in Anna Christie on Broadway. At the time, Natasha was in a broken marriage, and she quickly realized that Liam was the man she wanted to be with. In the beginning, Liam wasn't rushing to define their relationship, but Natasha, ever the direct one, asked, "What are we?" It was then that Liam realized this wasn't just a fleeting romance. In 1994, they married and had 2 sons. Natasha wasn't just his wife, she was his soulmate. But in 2009, Tragedy struck when Natasha suffered a skiing accident. At first, she told Liam, "I just fell a little, love." But when he reached the hospital, doctors delivered the devastating news that she had no chance of survival. Liam was forced to make the heart-wrenching decision to let his wife go peacefully. Since then, Liam rarely speaks of his loss, but he still visits her grave every day. He once shared, "I talk to her every day. She doesn't answer, but I still talk to her." Their love is a testament to the fact that age gap relationships in love aren't limited by time, yet the gap between life and death can never truly be filled. Eight. Chris Evans and Alba Baptista. Chris Evans, the heartthrob of millions, has finally found his true love in Alba Baptista, a talented Portuguese actress. With a 16-year age gap, their love story is proof that age is just a number. And for Chris, he couldn't be luckier to have Alba by his side. The couple began dating secretly, dropping subtle hints like matching pumpkin photos during the fall of 2022. But when they were spotted holding hands in New York City, they could no longer keep their relationship under wraps. Chris once shared that Alba has a heart of gold, and it was her sweetness and simplicity that won him over. They tied the knot in September 2023 in an intimate ceremony in Boston, surrounded by close friends, including their Avengers co-stars. Shortly after, they held a second wedding in Alba's hometown in Portugal. Chris has always dreamed of having a peaceful, loving family. And with Alba, that dream is slowly becoming a reality. "She makes me feel at peace," he confided. 7. Patrick Stewart and Sunny Ozell. Patrick Stewart and Sunny Ozell found love in the most unexpected way. They first met in a New York restaurant, where Sunny worked as a waitress and Patrick was in town performing in Macbeth. What started as a chance encounter would soon blossom into a love story that has now spanned over a decade. Patrick Stewart, captivated by Sunny's intelligence and her beautiful voice, did something he had never done before. He gave her his phone number. And that was the beginning of their unforgettable journey together. After several years of dating, they tied the knot in 2013, with their close friend Ian McKellen officiating. However, due to a paperwork issue, they had to hold a second wedding at a Mexican restaurant in Los Angeles, once again with Ian McKellen leading the ceremony. Despite their 39-year age gap, the couple has never let this difference define their relationship. Sunny once said that Patrick is younger than his age, while Patrick has often called his wife's soul incredible. Not only are they a famous couple, but they're also true partners in their careers. Patrick frequently praises Sunny's musical achievements, while Sunny has been his biggest supporter in his acting projects. 6. Cher and Alexander Edwards. When it comes to celebrity couples, Cher is in a league of her own. The pop icon has always broken the mold, and her relationship with Alexander A.E. Edwards, a music executive 40 years younger than her, is no exception. They first met during Paris Fashion Week 2022, but it wasn't until November 2022 that they publicly confirmed their romance when they were spotted holding hands in Los Angeles. Not long after, Cher set social media ablaze when she shared that her entire family had met A.E., praising him for treating her like a queen. Despite the backlash surrounding their age gap, Cher couldn't care less. "Love doesn't know math, it only sees the heart," she declared. More importantly, A.E. makes her feel more alive and sexy than ever. The couple frequently attends high-profile events together, like the iHeartRadio Music Awards, where Cher was honored with the Icon Award. A.E. even collaborated with Cher on her first-ever Christmas album, proving that their relationship isn't just romantic, but also professional. 5. Mick Jagger and Melanie Hamrick. Mick Jagger may be a rock legend, but when it comes to his personal life, he found balance and peace with Melanie Hamrick, a talented former ballet dancer. The two first met in 2014 in Tokyo, where the Rolling Stones and the American Ballet Theatre were both on tour. Initially, it was just a casual acquaintance, but by June of that year, Mick invited Melanie to join him for a leg of the band's tour in Zurich, and that's when their romance officially began. With a 44-year age gap, their relationship drew attention, but Melanie didn't let it faze her. "I'm happy, and the people important to me are happy too. I'm not hurting anyone, so why should I care?" she said candidly. In 2016, they welcomed their first child together, Devereux Octavian Basil Jagger. Mick's 8th child, but Melanie's first. While they keep their relationship relatively private on social media, Melanie occasionally shares family moments, particularly during special occasions like Mick's 81st birthday in 2024. Although they've been seen with a large diamond ring, Melanie has clarified that it's not an engagement ring, but rather a promise ring. She emphasized living in the present and not worrying about long-term plans. Beyond her ballet career, Melanie is also a novelist and recently promoted her new book, The Unraveling. The couple has also collaborated on artistic projects, notably the ballet Port Rouge, where Melanie choreographed and Mick provided the music. It's a relationship that may be low-key, but full of mutual understanding and deep connection. Perhaps that's the secret to their lasting bond for over a decade. Four, Eddie Murphy and Paige. Butcher Eddie Murphy, the legendary Hollywood comedian, is known for his colorful love life. But when he met Paige Butcher, a private model who avoids the spotlight, he found a different kind of love, one that doesn't need the glare of the stage lights. 19 years younger than Eddie, Paige didn't care about fame or attention. They first met in 2012 on the set of Big Mama's House 2, and from the start, Paige's desire for privacy and quiet life stood out to Eddie. Unlike the women Eddie had dated before, Paige didn't chase celebrity status. She preferred to keep her life offline, a quality Eddie admired deeply. Their relationship has always been low-key, free from public declarations or flashy displays. Paige once said, "He makes me feel safe," and that's the most important thing. The peace Paige brought into Eddie's life helped him rediscover a gentler version of himself. In 2018, they welcomed their son, Max Charles Murphy, and shortly after, Eddie proposed to Paige with an extravagant ring. However, despite being engaged, they didn't rush into marriage. For Eddie, happiness wasn't about ceremonies, it was about building a life together. On July 9, 2024, Eddie and Paige finally tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in Anguilla. No extravagance, no fanfare, just family and close friends. When asked about the sweetest thing Eddie's ever said to her, Paige simply smiled and said, "He tells me every day." A comedian, a legend, but to Paige, Eddie Murphy is just a man who loves and is loved in return. Three, Dick Van Dyke and Arlene Silver. If anyone thinks that age can stop love, Dick Van Dyke and Arlene Silver are here to prove them wrong. With a 46-year age gap, they not only found each other but have spent their lives together full of energy, joy, and love. They first met in 2006 at the SAG Awards, where Arlene was working as a makeup artist. Though she didn't know much about Dick Van Dyke's legendary career, she was immediately drawn to his cheerful personality and youthful energy. Their relationship grew stronger when Arlene helped Van Dyke through a tough time after the passing of his longtime partner. In 2012, they tied the knot. Van Dyke was 86 and Arlene was 40. Despite the massive age gap, they never saw it as an obstacle. They shared a love for music and dancing, often performing together, singing, and even appearing in a Coldplay music video. Arlene has said she's Dick's safety blanket, always by his side through every moment. Two, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness. Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness are one of Hollywood's most enduring celebrity couples. They first met in 1995, when Hugh was a young actor just starting out, while Deborah Lee was already a well-known star in Australia. From the moment Hugh saw Deborah, he was captivated. "She had such powerful energy that I couldn't take my eyes off her," Hugh recalls. Their 13-year age gap has never been an issue. In fact, Hugh has always admired Deborah Lee's life experience, while she loved his youthful vitality. Just a few months into dating, Hugh knew for sure he wanted to spend his life with her. He handmade her engagement ring and proposed to her on a romantic evening. They married in 1996 and together built a happy home. When they faced difficulties in having children, they chose to adopt 2 children, Oscar and Ava, and made family the center of their lives. "Family is the most important thing to me," Hugh has said. He's never been away from his wife for more than 2 weeks, no matter how busy his career became. They spent 27 years together before deciding to part ways in 2023. Even though they are no longer married, they continue to share a deep friendship and cherish the many happy years they spent together. And at the top of our list, we have a love story that no one saw coming, a relationship with a 60-year age gap that defied all expectations. 1. Hugh Hefner and Crystal Harris. Hugh Hefner, the legendary Playboy mogul, and Crystal Harris, a woman 60 years his junior, might just be the most unexpected couple on this list. When they were first seen together, the world was stunned, but despite the skepticism, they remained committed for years, and their relationship was far from just a fleeting romance. Crystal first met Hefner in 2008 at a Halloween party when she was only 21 years old. At that age, she was captivated by the glamour of the Playboy Mansion, a world of luxury and all-night parties. However, as their relationship grew more serious, Crystal realized that Hefner wasn't just an icon. He was also a warm-hearted man who truly listened and cared for her in his own unique way. In 2010, Hefner proposed to Crystal with a stunning diamond ring. She was initially hesitant, but a year later, on New Year's Eve 2012, they became husband and wife. Crystal once shared that Hefner was the only man who made her feel truly protected, loved, and without needing to sacrifice anything. Despite their significant age difference, Hefner always showed Crystal the most romantic gestures. He would write love letters to her and leave sweet notes on her pillow every morning. When speaking of Hefner, Crystal once said, "He was the most refined man I've ever met. No one understood me like Hef did." They were together until 2017, when Hefner passed away at the age of 91. Even after his death, Crystal continues to speak highly of him. She wasn't just his last wife, she was an integral part of his final years. When asked about her time with Hefner, Crystal reflected, "I learned so much from him, about life, about love, and about cherishing every moment." Despite the age gaps that may seem impossible to some, these celebrity couples have shown us that love truly knows no boundaries. Some relationships have ended like a fairy tale, while others couldn't withstand the test of time. But no matter the outcome, they've all left an unforgettable mark on the entertainment world. Let's wish those couples still going strong a lifetime of happiness. And for those who have parted ways, may they find love again. After all, the most important thing is to be loved and find happiness in our own way. What do you think about these love stories? Do you believe age is just a number? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest stories from Hollywood